So I'm going to keep driving home exactly where we're at with this DCF crap and everything else. I keep hearing on these random videos that I've been posting on TikTok, like the judging is so strong. And I welcomed it at first, especially, and it did exactly what I assumed. And even then, I wasn't sure exactly where God was leading me to on this stuff, but exactly what had to happen happened, where I allowed the world to judge me, ridicule me, and everything else under the sun. And I stayed quiet, didn't respond to most comments, didn't even see most comments, you guys. TikTok just filters them out, which is, I guarantee, for my mental health. But at the end of the day, this is what I'm trying to achieve. I am trying to get Florida officials to enforce Florida Law 827. The problem is, whatever you want to judge, whatever. Here is what I believe, and here's what I've provided authority, and here's what some of the authority has even said is valid and that they were looking into. Now, I have covered so many times, yes, this happened under my roof, my house, 1000% correct. But anybody who knows me and my children know that I allow them, as my ex-husband used to say, because he had issues how I let Danny express herself. I did not put a bunch of rules under my children, and especially didn't do it when they became adults. When my daughter told me, sat right in my living room and told me she researched the crib and climbing out of the crib, I took her for her word. I know she did. And that's why I believe this all falls under Florida Law 827. And yes, I have said to the authorities, if they find that my daughter is not being mentally abused by what I believe is her abuser, then they need to hold her just as accountable as him. I have also said to them, because my common sense left my body, and even though I said to my daughter, I don't believe what's going on with the crib is right, I believe they should be in toddler beds, and I also brought up to her the baby monitors, and if the authorities would just ask her if that were true. I know my daughter, she's not capable of lying. She's just not able to. She will crumble. The authorities are refusing to do their job. I believe, and I've proven to the authorities, or I assure you, DCF would be shutting me up long time ago, that this is child neglect with the 16 and a half hours in the crib. I believe it is criminal child endangerment because they researched what to do at the crib and instead did their own thing and endangered my babies. I believe there is also medical neglect because they stopped taking the twins to their pediatrician, not because of any religious reasons, but because the pediatrician at the 1-year appointment said that she was concerned about the twins and where they were at with their speech. I do not believe the pediatrician nor myself thought anything about there being any kind of abuse back then. She was just concerned. Yet Jesse and Danny came home throwing a fit about how that pediatrician was, and they were never going back. I don't believe they ever took the twins back for any real medical care, and that is what I asked DCF to investigate. They also had major speech milestones. They are smart as can be, yet they grunt. I thought it was twin talk. Once again, I am not a trained professional. I didn't even know that I was a mandated reporter. I thought that was teachers, doctors, nurses. His actual mother, Maureen Johns, who is a medical nurse, literally, and had not been around the twins in over 2 years, actually 2.5 years almost. She'd also had no contact with her son. He was actually also abused by his mother. Now, to you guys that want to say I'm mom shaming and all this other stuff, ask yourself, I actually have, where my daughter tried to get an injunction, for you who don't know what that means in Florida, that is a restraining order. They had all the original videos, YouTube's. It's literally, you can see that she told the judge all about that. My original, where I call out his mother majorly, makes a bunch of people uncomfortable. All 3 of my videos make a lot of people uncomfortable. It's just me trying to explain because nobody would listen to me, and it's working. So ask yourself, Why with this restraining order? They had the website of all the YouTube. They had my actual website where I've blown up my entire world to try to demand that the system do their job. And if that means that I'm crazy, narcissistic, psycho, bipolar, my crazy eyes, my nose scrunching, and everything else, I'm good with that. Because at the end of the day, I'm standing up against child abuse. And I'm saying to DCF, and I'm saying to Ron DeSantis, and I'm saying to Lake County Sheriff Office, and I'm saying to the Eustis Police Department, our children should have more rights and more protection than our animal and our gun rights. And I stand by it. And I don't believe it should be DCF's job to be the one to hold them criminally responsible. And if it is, then shame on them that it takes 30 to 60 days to protect our families and our babies. And if you guys are good with that, that's your choice, I guess. But me, I say, hell no. So if that makes everybody uncomfortable because I'm using words, and guess what? I've looked up words before I used them just so I make sure nothing I do is malicious or slander, and it is not. Because I assure you, when the sheriff officer they were already all on his side. Some of them are, like I said, his family, his abuser's family, they have ties in the community, and that's why I'm standing up and had to go vocal. Makes everybody uncomfortable, but how many of you complained about how law enforcement does? I support the blue. I support police. I've always stood up for them. I just did. And I've stood up for gun rights, and I've stood up for all the things because I just assumed what I heard was true. And absolutely, I've been hearing stuff, it was a lie, and it is a lie. It is a lie, whether it's terrorism or not. See something, say something, certainly doesn't. Or if you see something, turn it in, report it. It doesn't do anything but make that person look crazy. So, yes, I am asking everybody, including myself, to do better by our families, our children, and our communities. Thank you.